For those who follow me on TikTok, then you know all about it. Definitely more active on TikTok, so just a heads up again for those who are here or tuning in the future. Follow me on TikTok, Sabrina Sahara Shares on TikTok. You get all the day-to-day ins and outs and complimentary speed reads every night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I had taken a break for the past week, and then I was also not here for Tuesday Tea at 2 last week because I was in recovery, some cold symptoms and headache and resting my voice, which I'm still doing and should be doing because obviously cold symptoms and all that stuff affects the voice. And beyond that, I've got a very big gig on Saturday. So for those in the New York City area, if you're around, you should come down to Pub Key. So there's going to be a little vibe happening with Red Sahara. I'm calling it Low Key at Pub Key. And that is going to be at 85 Washington Place in the West Village. Live at 5 to 7 p.m. And we're going to be doing an acoustic, plugged in, but just guitar and vocals, myself and Vita. I'm going to be sharing some of our original songs as well as some of our favorite covers and mashups and all of that good stuff from 5 to 7 p.m. at Pub Key. So you should come down if you're in New York or wherever you are. You should still come down and it's going to be a vibe. So, trying to clear it out and all of that stuff and getting ready for that gig. So being mindful of the voice, but I'm here. I'm back. What's up, Queen Ro? I see you. Thank you. Hugs to you as well. And I will definitely give the princess your hug. She's doing so good. She is a freshman. She's officially in high school. She had a biology test yesterday and got the results right away and got a 90 on her biology. Oh my gosh. And she's in like advanced biology on top of it. So she got a 90 on her biology test. So we're like, yes. So celebrated by getting her Laneige skincare situation that she loves so much. So yes, so she did great. But we are here vibing out. It is Aries supermoon vibes, Aries full supermoon vibes. So we're tapping into Aries, we're tapping into drive and passion and fuel and freedom and fire and our future and focusing on the freedom that is required in regards to the fuel that we need for our future to bring in the timeline that we want. It is a Mars year. We're tapping into the very, very powerful energy of the number 9. Last month being the number 9 month. We had our 999 portal because it was the 9th month, the 9th day, and a 9 year. And we're now in the 10th month and we're going into a 10 year. 2026 is going to be a 10 year. So all of this 9 energy is very much about endings, about culmination, about integration to prepare us for the next step, the next move, the next jump. So all of this energy, Mars year, Aries being ruled by Mars, is very much in alignment with bringing everything into fruition that we want to actually experience in form and experience. So the ideas and the visions and the dreams and all of these things are like potential, right? It's very imaginative. It's very intangible. Intention even is invisible in that regard until we bring it into form and experience. So this is what the work is. This is the transition that we're in right now to bring the intangible to the tangible. So do the work, and all is going to be, because it's all yours. It's already yours, right? But again, we tap into the energy of potential. It really doesn't mean much if we're not actually doing something about it. And we tap into what I refer to as the 4 walls of manifestation, what we think, what we feel, what we say, what we do. And those things have to work in tandem. They have to be simultaneously consistent and activated in order for us to send the right messages to the Most High, to the Creator, to our higher self, to our Ori, ultimately, so that there's no mixed messages and no confusion within ourselves. Ultimately, we're giving ourselves permission to receive and to be everything that we are. Ashe, ashe. So Momentum Monday, motivation was yesterday, tapped in obviously on the same day of the Aries supermoon. So the quote for yesterday was, I focus on freedom to fuel my future. I focus on freedom to fuel my future. And the energy of focusing on freedom is, again, not putting ourselves in a mindset of scarcity, of restriction, of the things that ultimately don't really serve us, of what it is that we don't want to experience anymore. But when we shackle ourselves to a certain thought, to a certain belief, to a certain narrative, then it doesn't matter what is happening externally. It is just about what it is that we're choosing to focus on, what it is that we're choosing to believe. So even though there's realities and there's things that are placed in front of us, like the rent's due, like the bills got to be paid, like whatever the case may be, still try to, that fake it till you make it kind of energy, that believe to receive ultimately. And again, the fact that intention is invisible until it actually comes into form and experience, you want to be very, very mindful and very selective and very discerning in regards to your invisible intentions, because they will manifest physically and again in form and experience. So just say the opposite, do the opposite, think the opposite, feel the opposite, all of that until boom shalaka bang bang, it presents itself, okay? Because this world, this life, this matrix, the all of it includes miracles. And as long as we again believe, we will receive. But we let a lot of the stuff get bogged down in us. That's the stuff that is also a part of us that more often is the work of removing, so that everything that is, everything that we are in terms of our abundance and our perfect health and supreme love and it's all there too. It's all there too. It's all escrow. And I always say too, Spirit gave me this download 3 weeks ago or so, maybe it was over a month, I don't know. But the longer it takes, the more it makes. The longer it takes, the more it makes. So let it take its time. Let it take its time, because that is just escrow. And what if we've already done everything that we need to do? What if, with all of these spells and all of these affirmations and all of these, burning rituals and all of these moon alignments and everything that we have done in regards to our alignment with self and source, what if we have done everything that we need to do? And now it's just being in receiving mode, having that faith, that gratitude, and that patience, because it's already done. Imagine, because all we have is our imagination, and that's what presents in form and experience. So imagine that. Imagine that. You've already done it. It's already done. Ashe? Star Child, I see you, sister. Mwah. How are you? Hello, hello. So good to feel you. So, we're tapping into sage today. So I've got some fresh sage this is actually from a neighbor's garden. Our sage at the garden and my yard, I didn't plant sage actually in my yard, but at the garden as well. Our sage didn't come up. We've got so much else, but one of our neighbors has a plethora. Oh my God, you should see, it's like a tree pretty much. So she was like, come and pick some sage. And I was like, yeah, thank you. So stunning, stunning sage I have here. And we are tapping into a fire agate. So Aries alignment, full moon, super moon alignment. Sage taps into the releasing energy of full moons. Full moons are about plucking weeds, release to increase energy and clearing out negative energy. The detoxifying aspect of sage, very powerful for that, for inflammation. So anything that we are not wanting, whether it's energetic, whether it's physical, sage is really good for that. And we tap in, again, everything that we do, again, is intention. Put the intention towards it, put the affirmation towards it, speak it out loud, name it, claim it, demand it, command it, all of that good stuff, and speak it into your tea. So I give thanks to you. I give thanks to Baba Ozain, the Orisha of everything that is green and grows. Asheo. I got my sage nice and whole, all up in there. And our fire agate. Agate is very protective. It's very grounding. Again, taps into the fire, fuel energy, Mars energy, Aries energy. Aries being the leader, initiative, drive, that gusto. It's an energy of aggressiveness, but you can tap into aggressiveness and not necessarily in a negative way of kind of trying to overpower somebody else's will, but just in terms of you commanding, demanding, name and claiming for yourself and saying, I'm not playing small anymore. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's, the courage aspect is what taps in for the aggressiveness that fire agate, that Mars, that Aries can remind us of and bring us into that full protection. Tapping into your personal power. If we are deciding our own futures, especially when we're seeing what is happening in this 3D, then it is that much more imperative for you to understand and understand personal power and making those choices regardless of what is happening outside of you. It is what's happening inside of you that is going to reflect and override what is already occurring on the outside, on the external, okay? If you guys hear voices and noise and bang bangs and stuff, I have a contractor here working on something, or two actually, so they're, working on their stuff and communicating and stuff. So I was like, guys, I'm gonna be doing a live at 2. They gotta do what they gotta do. So apologies for any interruptions or any noise and such, but, oh, no, that's outside. I was like, oh, for example. But I'm here, and I missed you last week. And follow me on TikTok, because I started the lives again last night. Awesome vibes. 20 people were in the live last night. I'm still building on TikTok. I'm still building here, but TikTok is building even faster than here. TikTok's building even faster than Instagram and Facebook, which I was on for years, like decades even. So I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy about it. So you should join the Tribe Vibe, okay? We're the Vibe Tribe. We should join the Tribe Vibe Tribe on TikTok. It's a good vibe. It's really fun. It's really fun. So yeah, okay. Let's tap in to our universal law for this week, especially since we missed one last week. Let's see what Spirit has in store for us. If you do have an opportunity to be out under the moon, definitely do so. Powerful alignment. I was under the moon last night. Clear skies, gorgeous. Super moon. So reminder that super moons, even though we have full moons every month, super moons are much more rare, and it is on average 30% brighter than an average full moon, and it's also closer to Earth. So when we think about what it is that we're speaking and that we're naming, claiming, demanding, commanding, and reaching out and up to the moon, it's as if it's closer, because it literally is, right? So it's imagining your manifestation, your hope, your dream, your wish being closer to you, being more accessible, more tangible, to bring it down to the ground, down to Earth, right? Just like reach up and grab the moon, it's just that much more real, more accessible in that way. So tap into that. The energy of it being 30% brighter is us just tapping into our brightness and divine feminine energy, which is again receptive mode. So when you do moon work and tapping into the phases of the moon, it's not just a general sense of like, oh yeah, it's the moon, so we believe in full moons and new moons, and full moons are about plucking weeds and new moons are about planting seeds. It's about feminine energy. And when we are in manifestation mode, it is about feminine energy. We are not going to receive if we are not in the receptive mode. It's literally the math's gotta math. So when you work with the moon, you are working with the alignment with divine feminine energy. Whether you're male or whether you're female, you have divine feminine energy. That is where the creation mode comes from. That is where our intuition comes from. That is, again, where the receptivity, the receptive mode comes from. So when you want something, you got to tap into divine feminine energy. And when you tap into Madam Moon, she just gives a little extra to sprinkle that down, bring it on down, okay? So tap in to Madam Moon any chance you get, any phase, but particularly tapping in for full moons when we want to discard things, because again, more of the work is in the discard. It is in the release. It is in the clearing out. It is in the decluttering, because that's the stuff that's illusionary, that bogs down, blocks, and binds us to the things that we don't want to experience anymore. When you clear that out, all of the stuff that we actually are, all of the perfection, all of the abundance, all of the money, that's energy like everything else, automatically comes to the surface. Automatically. So that's the work. That's the work. And full moons are especially powerful because the full moon phase is the releasing energy. It is the catharsis energy. Yemoya, tapping into the ocean, and how the ocean and the moon is in that tandem, is in that ebb and flow, in that connection, the tides and the waves and all of that. It's an energy of washing away what no longer serves, okay? So somebody give me a stop top or a stop bottom. And we're gonna see, unless a single card flies out, that's not a single, then we will go with that one. So let's see. What's it gonna be? Anybody? Stop top, stop bottom. Let me know. Somebody wants to choose the card. Oh, got a single. Too late. Y'all being shy today? Y'all being shy today? Okay. Number 37. So that brings in our energy of 10, like we were just talking about, and we are in our 10th month. 10-10 portal, by the way, coming up. Tap in 10-10 portal. I'll be doing a thing, but 10-10 portal. The law of vibration. Practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. And here we are just talking about the ebb and the flow of the ocean, tapping into the moon and bringing in the catharsis of what is getting cleared away. This is the flow. This is the float that we tap into. When we are thinking about things that are bogging us down, that are worrying us, that we have on our head, that's the bill to pay and the rent and the this and all of these things, sometimes it feels like we're drowning. And in those moments when we feel like we're drowning, we need to just lean back and remind ourselves that we can float. Just keep your head above water. Sometimes it's just that. Because when we are panicking, when we are in that mode of not floating, not flowing, that's the going under. That's the down. That's the spiraling down. When you at least get to the float, that is at least staying above water. That is at least being at zero, right? And it is only up from there. That is where we can actually spiral up. There's a chance for the spiral up instead of this energy of drowning, of not being able to deal with it, of it being overwhelming. And honestly, there's so much about this life that is made to make us feel overwhelmed, to make us feel like we're not going to do it, or how are we going to do it? Ask ourselves the right questions, because it's many times in the questions that we actually start to manifest and form an experience. But we oftentimes ask ourselves negative questions, and then the subconscious is just going to kind of prove to us what it is that we're already alluding to, because a lot of those questions in some ways are rhetorical. So flip it. And the questions that we should ask ourselves should be more of the rhetorical questions that we actually want to believe is what's going to happen. Like, yo, how did I just get $1 million? Like, how did I just ask yourself these incredulous, delulu kind of questions that are rhetorical based on what it is that you actually want to be true? Like, how did I pay my house off? Like, wow, how did I do that? And just be in amazement of that question as if it already is, as if, again, it is rhetorical. And then get your vibration, get your Ori, your higher self, your subconscious to just prove to you what it is that you just rhetorically asked. Like, it's just like, oh my God, how did I do that? That's awesome kind of thing, right? Vibration is about frequency. It's about magnetism. This is what electricity, this is why grounding is so powerful and so important, because there's so many things that we can do that we actually don't have to do much. It's just like I'm saying, imagine that it's already yours. Imagine that you've done everything that you need to do, and that anything extra is just the avalanche of abundance. It's just escrow. It's just more. There's always more. There's always more in store. So it doesn't mean to kick back and don't think that you need to do anything because you've done it all. It's just that you've done it all. So anything extra that you do is just the more. It's, again, that part of the longer it takes, the more it makes. Let it take its time, because that's just more. It's escrow. It's escrow. It's escrow. So vibration, tap into the frequency that is you. Give in to that freedom. Give into that faith. Give into that patience. Give into that gratitude. And just float on it, lean back in it, not in the energy of needing to know how, but just flowing with the it is, it already is, it's done. And that's what this energy is here speaking. Practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. Even in the things that we say that we want to know, or that we're calling in, or that we're naming, claiming, demanding, commanding, a lot of times it's based on our wants, right? So the energy of knowing is based on what it is that we think that we want. But we may not always get what we want, but Spirit is always going to give us what we need. And this is what is the most important thing to stay in vibration of and to be in full gratitude for, is to be like, I'm going to put out there, again, intention. I'm going to put it out and up. This is what I want, or what I think I want, or what I think I need. But I'm going to lean back. I am going to float. I am going to flow with the ultimate knowing, with the all knowing, that ultimately we are still tuned and tapped into. There is no separation. But a lot of things that we are calling in is not always part of our destiny, is not always part of what is meant to be. And it is not always what's good for us. we can imagine a lot of things that we wanted that did manifest, that didn't necessarily work out the way that we wanted it to, but it always ends up working out somehow. So this is where the good, the bad, and the ugly is all part of what we need to be grateful for. 222. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Ashe. I practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. I practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. I practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. That flow leads to the grow, leads to the glow. It is so time for the glow ups. We are in an Aries supermoon alignment. Talk about spark and fire and fuel and glow and light and bright and bringing things in. Again, that energy of initiative and the passion and the zest and the fuel for what it is that we're trying to bring in for our futures. The future is now. We have to continue to remember that, because every thought that we're having now, every, again, good, bad, or ugly, is what is literally forming the future. It is forming the form and the experience. So even when things present themselves that we're not ideally wanting to experience, just flip that shit. Say the opposite. When you get that bill, the natural thing is like, how am I going to pay this bill? That, if you're asking that, the universe, spirit, your Ori is going to be like, yeah, like, of course you can, right? That's, again, it's just a reflection. It's all a mirroring. So instead, receive that bill and be like, how did I pay that bill on time? Wow, like, how did I do that? And energetically switch it, verbally switch it, vibrationally switch it, completely, like you're saying it in such the most amazed, like, oh my God, how did I do it? Get excited, feel it the way that you would actually feel it if it actually happened. And that is what is going to lead you closer to actually experiencing it, for it to actually be real. That's it. Tap into it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm deluding myself. Yeah, and why not? Why not? Is that not better than, oh my God, how am I going to pay this bill? Like, say it when it happens, try it both ways and see how you vibrationally, energetically, on a frequency level, on a cellular level, how does it feel? And go with the what feels better. I can promise you that going with the what feels better is going to lead you a lot closer to actually experiencing what feels better. That's the math. And we're in an age and a stage where the math got a math, y'all. The math got a math, okay? So let the initial reaction, response, whatever come through when you have that. Sure, sometimes we can't really control it, but then flip it and just feel the difference in your body. And then you're going to start to convince yourself, and your subconscious is going to start to convince yourself that this actually makes a lot more sense. So even though in many ways we think like we're deluding ourselves, but then we start to actually feel what that delulu feels like, and we're like, well, you know what? Why would I not do this all the time? This makes sense. This is a math that's mathing. So the delulu actually becomes something that just makes more sense and forms your destiny. Cannot go wrong with that. It's better. It's better. Let's choose better. Let's choose better, because we're so much better than the scarcity and the worry and the doubts and the fears and all of those things that are illusions anyway, that unfortunately we're just conditioned to believe in, because that's how we lose our power. And that's how the powers that once were want to have us and keep us, so that we don't actually start to say, you know what? How about I don't have to pay these bills at all? How about I don't have to pay for water at all? How about I don't have to any of this that you say that I have to do at all, because I am a sovereign soul and I'm a steward of this land and I don't owe you anything. And who said that you own it more than I do? How did that math? That's the stuff that we start to think and feel and realize and recognize when our vibration rises up. And then Golden Age, and then New Earth, and then Utopia. And then, yeah, they're the ones that have to hide or start paying us. How about that? How about that? I'm gonna go. Somebody give me the time, or I'm gonna just choose. I think I'm just gonna choose the time now because sometimes y'all be a little bit shy. Sometimes y'all be a little bit shy, so I don't know. Let me see if somebody's gonna give me the time, and if not, I will choose the time. I saw 226 when I was gonna say it, so I'm gonna go with 226. The heart, you embody love. To attract love, you must emulate love. Loving yourself is how you create relationships with others that replicate the same love. Lie in meditation today with your hands over your heart chakra and repeat this mantra, I am love. It's the mirroring. It's the reflection. Here it is right here at the end of the day. If we're talking about what we are emulating to replicate, we have to be what it is that we want to replicate, what we want to experience on the outside. Mirror work is so powerful for that. Stand in front of the mirror, looking into your eyes, the eyes being the windows to the soul, and speaking to yourself, to your Ori, to your higher self, speaking directly to your heart, directly to your soul, and ultimately deciding who you are, what you want to experience, what you want this particular dimension to look like, how you want all of the different simulations that are happening simultaneously to morph into one, how you want to tap into your starseed alignment, whoever is on the Atlas ship that is in alignment with you and your higher self and your Ori, and come into union, come into tandem. It's real stuff. And it's as real as you believe it to be. That's the rub and the best part of it all. But that means good, bad, and ugly. So choose wisely in this miracle and this manifestation, in this matrix, y'all. Choose wisely, okay? So I'm off. I will be live tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok. So please do join me there. We're tapping into round 2 for our Aries Supermoon speed reads. So started last night. Gonna do round 2 tonight, and then round 3 tomorrow for complimentary speed reads to tap into what you need to focus on to fuel your future. And after round 3, I'm gonna switch up. I always change the themes every once in a while, but I'll kind of keep, a particular theme, especially a moon theme, for 3 days at the very least. 999 portal, for example, I did those for 9 days. So I did readings for people in regards to what it is that they needed to release to come into the new timeline for those 999 readings. So it's a vibe, and we the vibe tribe. So you should come because you belong and you're part of it. Okay? Okay. I love y'all. I will talk to you when I talk to you. I will see you when I see you. I will be back here on Tuesday, and I'm live every night on the TikTok. So see you when I see you. Peace. And lest we forget, in the meantime and in between time, I love you, sister. I love you so much. In the meantime and in between time, lest we forget, time to get back to natural. Peace.